Most guys, when they train, they only stick to bodybuilding movements. Some guys, they just train just powerlifting movements. Some guys, they just train calisthenic movements, and that's all they do. And they build their physique, right? But most guys don't do all three. And what happens with those guys is that the bodybuilder guy is going to get too bulky, too massive. The powerlifter guy, he's going to look too small but have a lot of power and still have stiff joints and move robotically. And then the calisthenics guy, probably not going to bulk up properly and still look kind of skinny and like an ectomorph, right? Not have that actual aesthetic looking physique. And the thing is that I don't know why fitness people don't talk about this, but you need to do all three. If you incorporated all three of those training styles into your split, like I've done for the past 10 years, 7 years, 8 years, then you yourself could have the aesthetic hot male physique by next year if you follow exactly what I tell you in this guide. You can have the shape and the bodybuilder shape, the bulkiness, but at the same time, the leanness of the power builder, the dense muscular system. And also you can have that shredded look at the same time by doing calisthenics. And I'm going to explain why. But first I want to tell you before I get into this video, if you cannot sit through a long video and watch this entire guide without scrolling through the comments, without scrolling down, without clicking on another video and doing some YouTube searching and Google searching, you do not deserve to look good. I'm just going to tell you right now, you don't deserve to have this body, because the type of guys that get this body are the type of guys that can be patient with themselves and delay gratification. If you have this schizophrenic ADHD TikTok brain where you're strolling all the way down to the comments and like already YouTube searching and going on Google and then trying to find this guide on YouTube Shorts and stuff like that, if you're a guy who only looks at YouTube Shorts to get his information, you don't deserve to change your life. I'm just going to let you know you're not going to get anywhere in life. So in this guide, watch this video all the way through, because I'm going to explain everything. And if you miss something and you don't progress through this free guide, then that's on you. The second thing is that you need to admit that you want to be attractive to women. You need to admit that you want to be hot and attractive. I don't know why guys find it hard to admit that that's what they want to do. Whenever I ask a guy, hey, why do you want to work out? He never mentions women. He never mentions girls, never getting girls and stuff like that. And I think a lot of you guys think that you're above that shit. You think that, oh, it's wrong or it's simpy to want to be attracted to women. You try and put on this mask. I ain't really worried about women. While the whole time you're sitting up here wishing you had a girlfriend, wishing the girl that you're texting wouldn't leave you on read, wishing she wouldn't leave you on read and undelivered. And then her Snapchat story shows that she's going out with a guy that looks more fit than you. Stop being this kind of guy who doesn't admit his true nature. You need to own up to your dark desires and just sit up here and say, I want to look hot for women. I want to be attractive for women. And the thing is that there's multiple reasons as why you should try and look attractive for women. There's multiple reasons why you should try and look attractive for your girlfriend. Because maybe you want to have that degenerate experience. Maybe you want to get a lot of matches on Tinder, a lot of matches on Hinge, and you want to have all these experiences. But on the offhand, it could be for your future wife. It could also be for the woman that's going to be the mother to your children, or the person who you put a ring on her finger. Because maybe you don't know this, but I do, because I am a guy who's experienced with women. Many women in their marriages are left unsatisfied. This is something women aren't going to tell you. Just because you're married or because you have a girlfriend doesn't mean that she's even physically or sexually satisfied by you. A lot of women withhold this information from their husbands and withhold this information from their boyfriends. But a lot of women are actually dissatisfied with their men's sexual health and with their men's physique. They wish that their man would build more muscle or look more lean. On the offhand, sometimes some women get insecure about it because they don't want a man to be too in shape, because they're afraid they're going to lose them. So they like to have that security. But most of the time, women kind of suffer in silence when it comes down to their attractiveness to their man. A lot of women don't even feel like sleeping with their man or being with their man physically is even desirable anymore, because you get in this relationship and you let yourself go and you wonder why she's all cold. You wonder why she doesn't want to touch you as much anymore and why she's not as affectionate. It's because you're not on your purpose and you're not in fucking shape. And the thing is, women are just like guys too. they're visual too. They're less visual than we are, but they're also visual. So when you're watching this guide, and I'm telling you, you need to admit that you want to look good for women. You want to be able to be attractive for your wife or your girlfriend or whoever. You need to look at it like you're also doing this for them. You're doing this for her. You're making your marriage, you're making your relationship stronger by making yourself more sexually polarizing and compatible and attractive for her or for the women that, or for your future wife or for the women that you're going to be with in the future. Because I'm a firm believer that we're all just animals. We're all animals. We have desires. And if you don't own up to them and integrate yourself with them, you're not going to see any success in life, especially as a man. Before we begin, my name's Chike, and I've been consistent for 11 years in the gym. I've been doing this for 11 years. And let me tell you something, I still struggle. I struggle to eat right every day. I struggle to stay disciplined. I struggle to stay consistent in between the military, YouTube, and also my own fitness as well, trying to grow for myself. But through this entire decade-long process, I learned that the most important thing is to manage my energy, not just my time. I learned how to be able to bulk without strictly and rapidly counting every single calorie that goes into my mouth. And I also learned how to fall in love with training once again. There was a time when I fell off and I did not feel like training. And I was able to rekindle that desire with the principles that I'm teaching you in this video. This channel is not about perfection. It's not about being a fucking gym influencer. It's about progress. It's about pain, and it's also about purpose. My vision is to make fitness an attainable lifestyle. Simple training, simple dieting, simple principles, simple routines that are all based on psychology, motivation, and actual flow. Because if you don't learn the truth about fitness, like I'm showing you on this channel, you're just going to end up chasing gimmicks, following all these routines, trying to do this program and that program, and you're going to fucking end up hating food because you try and force yourself to bulk and do and eat at this certain time and do X, Y, and Z. Trust me, because I've been there. And then when you fall apart, when you fall down and you choose not to get up, you're going to label it as self-acceptance because you're going to perceive the entire fitness world and what it demands of you, the entire fitness aim and what it demands of you. You're going to see that as just burdening. You're going to see it as a burden. And what my goal is on this channel is to help you as a beginner and someone who's ambitious to take all the fluff that's in fitness, take all the noise, all the gimmicks, all the trash that's really unnecessary right now, that's really not helping you right now, and cut all the fat off of the chicken, to cut all the fat, the fat off of the meat, and to just give you the actual value and the truth of fitness. I'm here to turn you into a gym rat because you're not finna be who the fuck you want to be unless you become a gym rat. And this guide isn't going to help you unless you follow the principles that I'm teaching you to actually become a gym rat. Because like I said, I've done this for 11 years while I've had 2 jobs in high school, while I've had a part-time job and a full-time student, while I was working a full-time student and doing YouTube and doing a side hustle. And now I'm in the fucking Air Force and I'm still doing all this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. So listen through this entire video. I know my videos be long, but you need to do yourself a favor and actually give yourself some long-term, some long-form content value for once. So we need to ask ourselves, okay, what is the physique that I actually want? That's the wide shoulders, that's the slim waist, and that's the chiseled look. You're kind of bulky, but you're not too bulky, much like you see in the thumbnail, right? That's pretty much my physique. You want to look like an athlete, but you also want to look strong. Most guys, they look strong, right? Doing just bodybuilding movements, and that's all they do. But they still have like this wide sort of like this blubbery kind of loose look. They don't actually train the other ways like strength building and calisthenics building and all these other things. That's having large muscles that are dense with low body fat. Now, one could argue, oh, you know, some girls like dad bods. Some girls like this slim look and the lean boy TikTok e-boy book, the e-boy look. Listen, I'm talking about most women, okay? Women, all right? So I'm talking about ages 20, 21, 22, 23, actual women. When it comes down to like other desires, that's fine. People can have other desires. That's cool. Like women can like other looks. That's fine by them. But I'm saying for the most part, most women like this sort of physique. Most women like to see that their man has muscle, and they like to see that they're athletic, that they have stamina, like they're dominant, like they're physically capable. Not just the kind of guy who just lift weights in the gym and he does nothing else, but the guy who can move, the guy who can bend, the guy who can lift and who can dominate. So I'm going to show you the exact muscles to train and how to train them in order to get to that point. So I'm going to explain to you right here off this list that I have, what exact muscle groups are they that you should train in order to get that silhouette that makes you look like a dominant, strong, attractive man that can get you a lot of matches, that can make your future wife attracted to you. I have a list right here. I'm just going to read it off. So that's the neck, the traps, lateral delts, rear delts, lats, the upper chest or just the chest in general, lower abs or the V line, quads, glutes, and calves. I went all the way straight from the top of the body to the end of the body. These things, these muscles right here, are the muscles that will give you that silhouette that makes you look very, very good, that makes you look very, very masculine. So what do? You have to basically create an entire split that can target all these muscle groups within a week, and that can give you 10 to 15 sets a week. Now, it sounds like it's hard, but I'm telling you, I only work out 4 days a week, 4 to 5 days a week, and I train these things inadvertently and make good progress. And the reason why, it's because it's how I train. In this video, what I'm gonna do, probably like right now, I'm gonna post a little screenshot of the actual split that I've been doing for the most part. My split does change up a little bit, but I'm gonna show you the actual split that I do that got me to this physique. But the thing is about the split, I did not do this the entire time. I changed up a little bit. This is just the split that I think is the best for you. If you want more details about my split, and if you want to learn exactly how to do it, and like the nuanced things about how many reps and sets I do and everything, which I'm going to explain in the next chapter anyway, you can go ahead and check out my course, my program, top link in the description. The next thing is about how it is that you train. And this is where most people make the mistake. Most people do understand what muscles to train when it comes down to looking aesthetic and looking good. But most people actually don't know how to train. And that's, you have to incorporate all 3 training styles. You need to incorporate powerlifting, bodybuilding, and calisthenics all within the same day of your split. And I'm going to explain why for each one. When it comes down to powerlifting is when you're using barbell movements. You're doing benching, you're doing squatting, you're doing deadlift. Although in my split, I really don't do a whole lot of deadlift. I don't feel the need to, although it's good for you. But those sorts of movements are considered powerlifting movements. Now, the reason why powerlifting is important is because it makes your muscles denser. What bodybuilders do, this is what bodybuilders do. They do high rep movements to cause sarcoplasmic adaptation, which builds the fluids in their muscles. And then they get big muscles, but that shit be jiggling. It be jiggling like it's a titty. Do you want soft muscles? Do you want jiggly puffs? Do you want to be big as hell and only hitting 225 for 3 reps? No. You want to be strong and big. It's like common sense. If you were like me, if you were the autist like me who just wanted to be like an anime character, you would want the best of both worlds. That's why you have to do both training styles. So when it comes down to powerlifting though, I don't necessarily have to use barbells. I can use dumbbells too. Like powerlifting doesn't mean that I have to do bench and squat. It's just that those are the traditional movements. But I pretty much use dumbbells when I do my benching, and I just go heavy. I pretty much use sometimes when I do curls, I will do like a powerlifting variant of the easy bar curl. I'll just do 5 reps of just this heavy curl bar. And what that does is that when you powerlift, you're making your muscles denser and tighter, and it's giving you that athletic look. It's making you look like you're like a football player, like you're in the NFL, like your muscles are tighter and stronger. Bodybuilding basically gives you that shape and that structure. It basically sets the frame for, okay, what is the silhouette of this guy's body? That's why when people want to talk about looks maxing and everything like that, they always default to, oh, you need to bodybuild, you need to do high rep hypertrophy, because physically looking bigger than your woman is just attractive. People will say it's not. Don't fucking listen to them. Every single girl that says she's been with a guy smaller than her is always glad and is always in awe whenever I take my shirt off in front of her and we get to doing what we're doing. Don't listen to people that talk about, oh, I don't want to get too big. I'm telling you the truth. If you do hypertrophy and you get big, you don't have to look like the Hulk or anything like that. But you have like, you're big, but like you're lean. It's attractive to all of them. It's attractive to all of them. Anyone can come for me in this video. I don't really care. With bodybuilding, it gives you that frame and that structure, and you mainly want to do that for your smaller muscles, right? So your smaller muscles being your delts, your rear delts, your lateral delts, your biceps, your triceps, your calves, and also, even though your hamstrings isn't a small muscle, I'd say your hamstrings too, and your traps. So there are like in the muscle groups that I talked about, there are smaller muscles and larger muscles. In my course, in my program, I basically differentiate the two. But to give you a rule of thumb, if the muscle itself is smaller, if your hand can cover the muscle itself, right? This is like kind of like a bro science-y sort of a tactic that I'm coming up with on the fly right now. But if you can just kind of like cover the muscle with your arm and, like that, consider it a small muscle. So my shoulders, I'm hitting hypertrophy. I'm doing 8 to 12 reps. Sometimes the smaller muscles, which can't take as much punishment as my larger muscles, like my chest, my quads, and my glutes, and my back, which I do powerlifting movements with, they're the ones that get the small hypertrophy bodybuilding muscle treatment on my splits. Then also you want to do calisthenics. Calisthenics always goes at the end of my split. Bodybuilding goes in the middle of my split, and the powerlifting movement goes at the beginning of my split. But when it comes down to calisthenics I do at the end of my split. Those are always high repetition movements, depending on what I want to do. Or sometimes I do weighted heavy movements with calisthenics. Right now, you're a beginner. You don't need to do heavy weighted movement with calisthenics. I recommend do 12 reps, 4 sets of your calisthenic movement that you're doing. Just get good at the movement. Get good at doing pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. You want to add those at the end of your split. And the reason why you want to do calisthenics is because they tone up your body, they make you look tight, and they give you fat burn. Every time you watch my video, you see my abs. You can see the top layer of my abs, right? I don't even hit abs that much. This is Chike exposing himself. I don't even hit abs that much. You want to know why I still have abs? It's because I do calisthenics all the time. I never neglect calisthenics. The looks I get when people see me attempting a one-arm pull-up and actually being able to do a one-arm pull-up, to be able to do a muscle-up, and I'm still able to hit 315 or hit 225 for multiple reps and squat 405 and do all these things. You have to want to be a hybrid, bro. Like, you have to want to be a hybrid. So calisthenics is going to help you with that fat burn. That's going to give you that chiseled sort of like that lean athletic physique. So powerlifting is going to be, just to recap on this segment, powerlifting is going to be at the first workout of your split. You're going to do something for no more than 5 reps. Then you're going to follow it up with 2 to 3 bodybuilding exercises, depending on your split. Those are going to be 8 to 12 reps. Your preference, that's fine. It's not rocket science. Pick 8 to 12 reps. Then the last workout is going to be your cool down workout, which you're going to do calisthenics after your muscles are already fatigued. And that's going to be 10 to 12 reps, 4 sets of your calisthenic movement. Doing this has made me the guy that I am, has made my body the way that it is. I have dense muscles, large muscles, and a lean physique, and I loosely followed my diet the entire way through because I know how to train, because I train like a hybrid. I train like a fucking animal. The next thing we need to talk about is your diet and how it is that you eat. I'm not going to tell you what to eat, but I'm going to tell you how it is that you eat. If you're trying to bulk up, if you're a skinny guy right now and you're trying to bulk up, you will lean bulk. You will not eat no more than a 500 caloric surplus. And most of those calories in that surplus is going to be protein, and it is going to be carbs. You do not get a choice. You do not get a say. I'm telling you what to do. Turn your brain off. You will lean bulk. Do not dirty bulk and heavy bulk. If you dirty bulk and heavy bulk, this routine is not going to help you. Lean bulk with a 500 caloric surplus and call it a day. But what's a way that you can lean bulk, especially if you're a 9 to 5 guy, you don't want to count calories and it's just too much. Pick 3 times a day in which you want to eat, right? Stick to those 3 times and just eat till you're full. When you're full, pick a time outside of those 3 times and just get 2 protein bars, get 2 little like bars or whatever that are 180 to 200 calories each. Knock them out and then grab a protein shake and you're good, right? Work out an hour after you eat your snack, and then just keep trying to hit your PRs and follow my program every single day. And the notification. Try and hit your PRs every single day. If you want to learn more, go ahead and check out my program. Top link in the description. But another thing, so if you're overweight, if you're fat, what you want to do is that you want to eat in a caloric deficit. I recommend a smaller deficit depending on your size. Okay, I don't have too much experience with being overweight because I've never been overweight, but from what I've studied through my NASM course and just getting general knowledge is that there are two types of diets that really help. I know, like, of course, getting in a caloric deficit is really important, but also eating a low carb keto diet. I'm going to say low carb keto because I probably don't have to say that. That phrase is kind of redundant, but low carb basically means that you're eating like it's keto, but you're not doing full keto. You're getting a little bit of carbs in before you have to go and train or whatever. So keto is basically eating nothing but proteins and fats. That's meat, eggs, cheese. Okay. And then carbs, you can eat fruit, you can eat bread or something like that. That's basically everything else, like beans, potatoes, and whatnot. And, you know, you can refer to a food pyramid or do your own research when it comes down to, okay, what's a carb, what's a fat, what's a protein? Because most people actually don't know. This is one of the biggest problems with people in fitness is that you don't know what the fuck what is. Okay, so the internet can help you. But go keto, low carb, eat in a slight deficit. Don't go on a heavy deficit because you're going to have low energy. You're not going to be able to train. Because what I want for fat guys, what I want for you is that you don't just lose weight, but you lose weight and you build muscle. And this is where the second diet I'm coming with that I want to talk about that you can somewhat implement into keto. Again, I don't have experience with this too much, but you want to do your own research. Check out the recomp diet. And what recomp is when you're eating in a deficit or you're eating at maintenance, but you're making most of it completely, if not most of it, protein. And the reason why you want to do this is because when you're dropping your calories, you're dropping proteins, fats, and you're dropping carbs. When you lose weight, your body isn't losing fat. It's losing fat, water, and muscle. You want to slow down that loss of muscle mass as opposed to your fat mass, and you can do that by getting protein in excess. So recomp diet is when you're eating at your maintenance caloric level, but you're making most of it protein. And you can do that while you work out, be fine, and you can start to burn fat and lose muscle because protein has a thermogenic effect. When you get protein in excess, it will literally burn the fat within your body. I literally had a time when I double scooped some protein and had creatine, and my body was literally just on fucking fire, and I crushed my workout. That's what you got to do. And the last chapter I want to talk about is, you know, the mindset that you need to have when you're doing this, because this will, if you follow this guide, this will change your physique in a year. Your physique will transform. You don't have to be perfect. Just focus on hitting the gym. If you miss your meal, hit the gym. If you eat too much, hit the gym. If things aren't perfect in your day, prioritize going to the gym. The highest ROI thing that you can do right now as a beginner is to go to the gym. A lot of you motherfuckers watching me may have something in your day that messes up your day. And then the first thing that you sacrifice is the gym. Oh yeah, the Walmart was too crowded, so I didn't go to the gym today. Oh, traffic was too much, so I didn't hit the gym. Oh, the kid was crying, so I didn't hit the gym. Oh, my wife is upset, so I didn't hit the gym. Man, fuck all that. Bro, hit the gym, dude, because you need to change your life, dude. You need to change your life. It does not matter what it is that's going on in your day. Stop trying to be perfect and just hit the gym. Just chase PRs. And listen, another thing, women are not hard to please. I know what in like dating spaces and I feel like with young people, we think women are hard to please. They're not hard to please. If you're a real man and you stay in shape, they're perfectly fine. They're satisfied with you. You don't need to look like a Greek god, demon lord, alpha sapien. Okay, you can just look like a normal guy who trains regularly and has the physique that I'm talking about in this video, where you're somewhat bulky, but you have tight muscles and you have a cinched waist and you have like tight abs, but because you do calisthenics, powerlifting, and bodybuilding, you don't have to be perfect. Women ain't that deep. They ain't that deep. They're really cool, bro. So I'm telling you right now, and honestly, if you're a woman, you can take this advice and make it into your split. You can check out my program if you want to, because I think this applies to both genders. It doesn't necessarily have to be man or woman. But what you want to do is turn your brain off and just chase PRs, chase your records and your bodybuilding movements and your calisthenics And when you get used to doing the calisthenics routine, months down the line, add a little bit of weight to your body by getting like a belt with the chain. If you're powerlifting and you're doing 5 reps and you can see that you can do it well, add 10 more pounds. If you're bodybuilding and you're seeing that you're able to kill 8 reps, 10 reps of the thing, add 5, 10 more pounds. Make sure you're chasing your PRs all the way, all the time, like I talk to you about in my videos, and just make that a religion. Chase PRs, and you want to have this mindset of you want to be like this anime character. You want to be like like Goku, like Ninja, like a goddamn NFL player. You want to be able to do it all. You want to be able to do all of it. I want to be strong. I want to have good tendons and muscles and be larger. Although I'm really not that focused on getting large nowadays. And I want to be and I want to have high mobility and calisthenics abilities. I want to do it all. If you had the mindset in which you wanted to do it all, you would already have this physique right now. A lot of guys either are just straight powerlifters like Anatoly. He's strong as shit, but he looks skinny as fuck. And then like, or they're just doing bodybuilding movements like Larry Wheels, and he's just big as hell. Nigga can't even sit in a goddamn Hellcat if he wanted to. And then they're just like calisthenics guys like Chris Area, which you wouldn't even know he was strong unless he took his shirt off. Like you wouldn't even know that he worked out unless he took off his damn shirt. He has no definition in his traps whatsoever. You want to be like all of them. Okay, so if you want to know the exact workouts that I personally use and you want to see them updated, my program is in the top link of the description. This is the first program I've ever made. I have like one guy in it right now. He's making good progress, but in that program, I want to show you my actual splits that I personally use, and I might even update them as I go along with my progress. And on top of that, I'm adding 2 more courses into that program, all for the price of one. One of them is going to be about how to actually get more matches on Tinder, how to actually get more matches on Hinge. Although I'm not a dating profile guy, that's not my niche. I do know how to be successful on those apps, right? And it's gotten to the point now where it's been literally too much to manage. It's too much to manage, and now I'm actually looking for a long-term relationship because I'm literally fucking tired and I want to focus on my purpose. The other course is going to be about how to become a gym rat long-term and how to actually stay in the gym. And then the other one that's in there is already about how to build a lean mass aesthetic physique like I talked about in this video. This video is long because I have a lot of information that I want to share with you. I wanted to go through every single workout, but if I did, this video would have been maybe an hour long. I can't do that because my phone doesn't have enough damn storage space. Okay, there's only so much a MacBook and an iPhone 15 can do. So with that being said, guys, check out my program, top link in the description. And if not, if you want to keep getting my free content and my free knowledge, you can just go ahead, click on this video and keep learning. Goodbye.